And by the way, Plies wasn't done. Dear Jaxson Dart, I don't have a problem with who you like or support. Just live in your truth, my boy, and stop doing what a lot of y'all do. Use the culture to appear cool, but your values and beliefs be totally opposite. Stop being conveniently cool. You saw that video of him dancing, didn't you, Plies? Yeah, you did. You saw that video of him dancing. I saw that.
Got him down there with his arm, finishes the drive with his legs.
It is fascinating how the guy that took the time to learn that dance can stand next to and introduce a man that has so violently assaulted the communities from which his teammates come from. But we see that kind of double standard from the folks in the stands all the time. Now, don't we? Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
Check it out. Do that big swastika right in my mother arm. I'm a mother man. Get out of my face.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
I know that ain't who I think it is. Introducing Trump is New York Giants quarterback Jaxson Dart.
Please welcome starting quarterback of the New York Giants, Jaxson Dart.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Yeah. Big Blue Nation, it's a pleasure to be here. I gotta start this off with a Go Big Blue. I'd love it if y'all would follow with me. Go Big Blue, go Big Blue, go Big Blue, go Big Blue. What an honor, what a privilege it is to be here. And without further ado, I'm grateful, I'm honored, I'm pleasured to introduce the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American.
Must have been a lot of Eagles fans in there. Must have been a lot of Eagles fans. They wasn't going with the Big Blue. No, because Commanders fans wouldn't be caught dead over there. Not after what we've seen right here in DC. Cowboys fans wouldn't have been able to find the location. It's only Eagles fans that would have showed up just to hate watch you introducing Donald Trump. And I will say, by the way, Jaxson Dart, that is your right. That's not a right afforded to everybody, but we'll circle back around to that, won't we?
Or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
Where is Laura Ingraham and the shut up and dribble crowd? That's weird. They've been kind of quiet on this one. Keep politics out of sports conservatives when it's their politics in sports. Bingo. Bingo. We've seen many times what the keep politics out of sports really means. Am I right? And when in doubt, you just go and consult your color chart right here on who can express their political views and who gets blackballed from the NFL. Well, Jaxson Dart, you did that. You expressed yourself. You went out there. No, they in the comments. There's the Dart 6 and the January 6. And of course, what memes wouldn't be complete without Jaxson Dart leading the Giants onto the field week 1 against the Cowboys? No passes will be completed. All right, shut up and dribble, America. How y'all want to handle this? Jalen Hurts was hanging out with Obama taking selfies, and guess what? No one gave a single crap. When did Obama lead an insurrection? There it is. That is exactly it. See, I said in the beginning, I'm completely fine with Jaxson Dart expressing his political views. You just have to swallow everything that political view entails. You know, you chose to introduce a man the same weekend that Congress had to flee Washington because of the questions about him creating a slush fund for January 6th insurrectionists. You got to deal with that. Just know that it means you introduce a 34-time felon with many, many, many more credible accusations. A man whose name is mentioned in the Epstein files more than the word Jeffrey. A man who refused to release said Epstein files because my friends would get hurt. Don't forget Access Hollywood. No, I wasn't even talking about the tape. I was talking about the Hollywood access that he lost dancing on Rob Reiner's grave. And that's just one example.
What do you mean by that?
Being an American means you are free to openly express your support of a man who's grifting so hard, even Megyn Kelly called it out.
I have to be honest, I didn't expect the corruption to be quite as, widespread as it's been, and like the self-dealing and the lining of his and his family's pockets. Like that's been a little shocking.
Right. Talking
and
billions
I just
of dollars.
expect Trump to be so disrespectful of his base.
Speaking of which, a guy who's turned on all of his supporters the moment they don't stroke his ego. Literally at any moment. Low IQ is coming your way.
I love the poorly educated.
A man who turned America First into openly fantasizing about running Venezuela and Israel and Argentina and Iran and Greenland. But don't worry, he replacing all y'all with South Africans. Oh, sorry, white South Africans.
White South African refugees choose to head home instead of living.
I have no problem with your personal choices. You just have to deal with the fact that you have endorsed a man who has fumbled his administration so badly, he had to press southern states to disenfranchise black voters. And called all your black teammates SOBs. Remember that? Forget the teammates. He called all of their families DEI. You just have to accept the fact that your support comes with an endorsement of a below 40% approval rating, which I don't know what I'm supposed to take from that. Maybe you are way weaker in the second half than you was in the first half, and you definitely don't got nothing for the fourth quarter. That's the only thing that's all I got. Huh? Or respect for the office. I got it. Yeah, he showed up just out of respect. It was just out of respect for the office. That's why he was there. You know, the same man who sent Pete Hegseth down to Kentucky to campaign against Thomas Massey, violating the Hatch Act. You mean that kind of respect for the office? You mean the same guy that had Kristi Noem blame Democrats during the government shutdown when he was posting notices from TSA? That respect for the office? Oh, and while we're talking about government shutdown, that definitely was when they started those dog face parties, is it not? You mean the same guy who can't give a military speech without admonishing Democrats, ruining our country? You mean that kind of respect for the office? How about the guy that made the Army's anniversary about himself? That kind of respect for the office? Huh. So you showed up out of respect for the office to introduce a man that doesn't respect anybody else's office. He certainly doesn't respect Congress. He certainly doesn't respect the Supreme Court. He doesn't respect his own office. He doesn't respect yours. Right, SOBs? He certainly does not. But here's the reason why I have absolutely no problem with it. Because not only are you free to have that stance, you have that stance whether we know or not. And quite frankly, I want to know.
I don't wanna know.
No. It was wrong then, and it's wrong now. I want to know about who in the midst of a generational affordability crisis, calls it a hoax, while taking money to build a ballroom and an arch to himself. We may consider it unfair to ask our young black athletes to engage in politics or consider or participate in a boycott, but best believe the other side don't feel that way. And isn't that certainly a bar? But I can't say that's the case with everybody. From Giants edge rusher Abdul Carter, thought this S was AI. What we doing, man? Let me see the chart. Yep. Here they come. Now they coming. Now they coming. From former Giant Lawrence Tynes, the locker room is a sacred place because it brings together everyone from all walks of life and beliefs for one common goal. Calling a teammate out publicly for his political views to get attention is nasty work. So supporting Trump wasn't nasty work. You commenting on Abdul Carter to get clicks and views isn't nasty work. But just in the middle, it's just in the middle, that is the nasty work. I normally don't spend my time dragging kickers. Nah, I'm gonna let them do it.
They're about to drag you. They're about to drag you in these comments. In these comments. In these comments. Oh, they're about to drag you. Hey, they're about to drag you in these comments. In these comments.
And Lawrence Tynes, this you? Lawrence Tynes to President Bush. Pardon my brother, please. Lawrence Tynes, you didn't have to say nothing. You didn't have to say nothing. You could have sat there and ate your food. You didn't have to say a thing. And quite frankly, if I had gone on record begging the president to pardon my brother, I would probably just log off whenever conversations got to presidential affairs. You were free to do that. Jaxson Dart versus Abdul Carter, that about sums it up. Now say it with your chest. Just say exactly what you mean. Ah, that's his mother. Huh. Put your side-by-side photo with his. That's interesting. Now here's an interesting thing, Maga. When you do things like this, right, where you just post a side-by-side, he just minding his own business, how do you beat the racist allegations like this? How do you, because he minding his own business. He not committing no, like, what? How do you beat the race? How does this help you, Maga? How does this help you? You post things like this, and then you want to actually have a basis for your wrong-headed perceptions of the world. When you start with things, this undercuts your entire worldview, that this was a post by itself. And yeah, the racist MAGAs are rolling into the comment section, but so are we. From Boxing Hall of Famer Lou DiBella, see the veiled or not so veiled racism here is exactly what is behind a lot of the takes behind Dart's political appearance and Carter's one tweet, 2-sentence bewilderment. Dart is standing with his gorgeous girlfriend living his life, and Carter's with his mother at an event. I guess that sums it up, huh? We're supposed to love the good-looking white couple, and we're supposed to cringe at the black kid with his mom and the fact that they're Muslim, and the white football player beating the drum for the racist, anti-immigrant, corrupt, warmongering, PDF-protecting, Muslim-hating, insurrectionist-rewarding excuse for a president was just being an American. And the black kid who put up one tweet of disbelief is the immature, bad teammate. F no to that. Hey, Lou DiBella still cracking heads, ain't he? He's still cracking heads. Salute to you. Oh, but they ain't done embarrassing themselves. No, let them talk. Let them talk. This gonna be good. Because you know Laura Loomer's people had to get involved. From Charles Downs, one of the Loomer reporters, During the NFL draft, Abdul Carter wore an Islamic political chain while his family showed up in full burqas. Funny how Abdul loves shoving his religion and politics down America's throat, but melts down when his teammate attends a Trump rally. The left are such hypocrites. Who won't tell him? The community note, Carter's chain spells incredible for his nickname Incredible and is not an Islamic political chain. But here's the bigger one for me. What is an Islamic political chain? You also objected to the burqas. Is the burqas a political stance? Is being Muslim a political stance? It is to you, Maga, isn't it? It absolutely is. Well, first off, being Muslim is not a political position, but also his chain is literally just his nickname. But I absolutely love that they outed themselves for being Muslim being a political position. And then wondering why there's such opposition to introducing Trump. And if being Muslim is a political position, oh boy, you know?
Hey, this real quick, man. I mean this in the most respectful way. Definitely hope this don't come off the wrong way. But this is a message to my black athletes, especially at the professional level and the collegiate level. This is just a thought I had. I just seen the clip with Jaxson Dart introducing 47 and I said to myself, man, this shit is interesting to me. Like, the white boys ain't got no problem letting you know where the they stand. They don't give a about no gas prices, $5. He ain't give a fuck about no Iran war. He don't give a about no $1.7 billion slush fund. He don't give a about them redrawing the maps and want black folks to be represented by white folks. He don't give a about none of that. Jaxson Dart saying, bitch, I'm letting you know this why I stand. This how I'm rocking. This how I'm rocking. That's just that. I wouldn't give a guy how many Cuban links he wear and do the motherfucking stanky leg in the motherfucking end zone. All that shit that he do to try to make you think he cool. He don't give a He's telling you, this my guy. This my mother. Why is it that the white boys ain't got no problem letting you know where they stand? They don't give a about no endorsement. They ain't give a about none of that. But when it come to us, we scared the motherfucking chew gum too motherfucking loud.
Man, shout out to Plies. I absolutely love the way he uses his platform, and I feel like I've grown, when I get to toss the Plies in a political sense. Because back in the day, it was shawty, and then it was the whole Instagram era. But he is right to raise this point. I would respond with 2 points. I believe one of the reasons why black athletes don't feel as comfortable speaking up is because a lot of them are MAGAs. Yeah. Or at least closet Republicans. We learned that when it came to our hip hop. Yeah, we learned my childhood ruined. My childhood is ruined, Plies. Seriously, you wanted the stalwarts in there, but a lot of your contemporaries wearing the red hat. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is I don't think we can simultaneously rail against the two Americas, the rampant double standards that we see at play in our world in 2026, and then also be oblivious to why we might behave differently in certain circumstances. Now, should that be the case? Are we in a place where we can start to consolidate some of that power? Have we been pushed to a place where we have little to no choice? Oh, we're going to talk about it. And by the way, Plies wasn't done. Dear Jaxson Dart, I don't have a problem with who you like or support. Just live in your truth, my boy, and stop doing what a lot of y'all do. Use the culture to appear cool, but your values and beliefs be totally opposite. Stop being conveniently cool. You saw that video of him dancing, didn't you, Plies? Yeah, you did. You saw that video of him dancing. I saw that.
Got him down there with his arm, finishes the drive with his legs.
It is fascinating how the guy that took the time to learn that dance can stand next to and introduce a man that has so violently assaulted the communities from which his teammates come from. But we see that kind of double standard from the folks in the stands all the time now, don't we? That's why we've been talking boycott.
The wild world of college sports, already in a state of upheaval over $1 million deals, transfer portals, and big boosters, is now colliding with the charged politics of race and gerrymandering. The NCAA, along with its power conferences, have put their lobbying power behind a bill called the SCORE Act, to establish a national standard over how athletes are compensated for the use of their name, image, and likeness, or NIL. But as the SCORE Act was finally set to get a vote last week in the House, after months of bipartisan talks, the Congressional Black Caucus revolted and said it could not back the bill, and the Southeastern Conference schools in particular spoke out against gerrymandering that could erase majority black districts across the South. And the NAACP and some Democratic lawmakers even going as far as calling for black athletes to boycott SEC schools until those universities use their power to push back against GOP states seeking to redraw House maps after the Supreme Court weakened the Voting Rights Act just last month.
This is a Bill Russell moment.
That's right. That's right.
It's a Muhammad Ali moment.
That's right.
And it's a Jackie Robinson moment.
That's right.
And we're going to stand together to make sure we bring about the type of country that the African American community deserves and that everyone in the United States of America deserves.
Congressional Black Caucus backs NAACP college sports boycott over black voting rights rollbacks. Silence is complicity. The Out of Bounds campaign calls for an athletic and financial boycott of the public university sports programs that remain silent as black voters are carved out of political power in the South. The Black Caucus, enraged by the Supreme Court's gutting of the Voting Rights Act and subsequent Southern states' elimination of black representation, joined the NAACP's call to boycott athletic programs at public universities, demanding that institutions that remain silent in the face of attacks on black political power speak up or suffer economic consequences. Now that is something, isn't it? Silence is complicity. And if silence is complicity, imagine what active support is. Now, one of the things that has given me a little bit pause about this whole thing is the fact that some of these kids, a lot of these kids, are looking at their one and only opportunity to create generational wealth for themselves and their families. And they're also in a position where they may not fully comprehend the ramifications for continuing to support the system as it currently exists. Yet at the same time, from Jamel Hill, look up the ages of the Freedom Riders. Lots of young folks. So when people are discussing whether it's fair to ask young people to boycott attending certain schools in the Deep South over gerrymandering, realize young people were a core component of the civil rights movement. And there you see the mugshots. This comes from a post from Mississippi Today. On this day in 1961, 27 Freedom Riders headed to New Orleans were arrested in the Jackson, Mississippi bus station. That is the history from which we have spawned, that created the foundation upon which we stand. And that's what gives everybody the freedom to voice their opinion and to opt in or out of the system that we currently occupy.
A few moments later.
But one option you don't have is disavowing the significance and the ramifications of those choices. That's right, Jaxson Dart. Just don't be a Dana White.
He's not a racist.
Well, how do you look, I don't want to go on endlessly about Donald Trump because, you know, then that's all we'll do. But when he puts out a video that shows the Obamas as apes and then won't even apologize for it, you don't get the willies from that?
No, I've been around the guy so much,
but that doesn't give you pause, Dana?
As far as what?
About his views of just about his way he talks about other human beings, much less race.
But if that's the way if he was that type of a person, first of all, I became friends with this guy, never even imagining that he would be the president of the United States someday.
Right.
And if he was that type of person, I would never associate with that type of a person, no matter who he was or who he thinks he is.
But if he does that, how is he not that kind of person?
He's not.
Do you know something that I know? In other words, what you're telling me is that you kind of know, of course you know him better personally, but he's the most transparent personality we have in public life. He talks to the press all the time. He's on social media all the time. It seems sometimes there's nothing that we don't know about him.
Very true.
So he's almost as apparent to me as he is to you.
And I don't know about the Obama thing to speak. To speak on it. I've never seen it. I didn't know that, but I can tell you this: he's not a racist. He's not a fascist. He loves this country, and if you're an American, race, religion, whatever it is, President Trump is on your team. That I guarantee you.
Hey, backpedaling like a cornerback, isn't he not? He backpedaling like he backing away from that thing like he backing away from UFC. Yeah. Oh, there is no. Say what now? Brett Favre. Brett Favre endorses meme praising Giants quarterback Jaxson Dart over Megan Rapinoe. You know how proud you about to be? Like, why? Why can't you go sit down? Hey, we need to get an exam while people are alive. We got to be able to examine when people are alive. Cause ain't no way. In a world of Megan Rapinoe's, be a Jaxson Dart, to which Brett Favre says agreed. Maga, you just can't. So if I said y'all are complete hypocrites when it comes to mixing politics with sports, y'all would disagree. What did Jaxson Dart and Megan Rapinoe do different? Y'all would get mad. If I said y'all was hypocrites, y'all would get mad. And then you posting this. This worse than a side-by-side Abdul Carter. Hey, Steve Tisch, I know you're not laughing. Giants co-owner Steve Tisch seeing Dart publicly pick a political party and Carter publicly disagreeing with it, knowing the attention is currently off him for going to the island. You thought we forgot? You thought we forgot? Huh? Hey, well, your quarterback just reminded us. So, not only the locker room situation, but now the boardroom. So he just reminded us all. Congratulations. Go Big Blue. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and a special shout out to everybody who reached out to me at admin@reesewaters.com.
Bro, let's get straight to it. On my mama, we lit.
We are a liberal senior couple who live in Red, South Carolina. Oh, I got people down there. Did y'all go to Camp Bob Cooper? While we love our life here, we are definitely in the minority in our neighborhood. We regularly watch your YouTube show and you're our favorite. You let us know there's a strong community out there that thinks like us. My husband said we have to have t-shirts, so I ordered one of our favorite sayings to start with. As you can see, he's very happy with this shirt. He said, I have to support Reese. He gives me a smile every day. Keep fighting the good fight and spreading the good word. Blessings to you, your family, and your team from Ben and Cynthia. Oh, I'm sure you have ample reason to go with that one where you are. You ain't got to leave the neighborhood to go with that one. Shout out to y'all, Ben and Cynthia, especially if y'all been down to Davis Station. You've been down to Davis Station, you know, it's serious. And don't think I missed what's going down at SC State. And speaking of which, from Sarah, we are from Southwest Louisiana and are big fans of yours. I was introduced to your YouTube channel by my fiance, James. We watch you every night. I couldn't think of anything better to give him other than your Who Raised Y'all and Let Him Fight t-shirts for his birthday, Easter Sunday. He absolutely loved it and showed everyone with excitement. Thanks for what you do. James, your birthday is on Easter Sunday? You just convince yourself that everybody wearing seersucker for you? I like that. That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart.
You serious?
Now, there are so many more like that, and I'm so grateful for all of them. I'm still working my way through, but those two stuck out to me. South Carolina and Louisiana, two places that I've had reasons to speak on recently because of attempts to subvert our democracy. And they say that the arc of the moral universe is long, but lately it feels like the Supreme Court and just about every other court is trying to take it to the shop for a realignment. We wake up to another headline, another decision that feels like a door being slammed and deadbolted in our faces, whether it's voting rights or education or just the basic right to exist without a fine print disclaimer attached to our skin. It's heavy, the kind of heavy that makes you just want to sit out the next play. But then I remember who we are. See, our history isn't just a collection of dates in a textbook. It's a masterclass in the word despite. We didn't become who we are because the rules were fair. We became who we are despite the rules being rigged. Just think about it. We built the architecture of this country while being told we weren't even citizens. We created jazz and go-go and rock and roll in the middle of silence. Yes, I'm from the DMV. We going with go-go. Yeah, boy. We found joy in the middle of a storm that's been brewing since 1619. A Supreme Court decision is a piece of paper. It's powerful, yeah. It can change the law of the land, but it can't change the DNA of the people. Perseverance isn't pretending the obstacles aren't there. It's looking at a no vacancy sign and saying, that's cool, I brought my own hammer. I'm building a new wing. And if that don't work, I'll just go to State Farm Arena because I know they got room. They fans never showing up again. So to my people feeling weary today, don't confuse a setback for a defeat. We come from a lineage of people who turn no into not yet and never into watch this. They can move the finish line as much as they want. We've been running this race for 400 years and we're just getting our second win. So keep your head up. We've been here before and we still here.